welcome to the Easily Excitable podcast. My name is Toff, I'm your host, and this week my guest is Spencer. Hey man, how's it going?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, things are going okay.
I tried to sound a lot more ominous than it actually came out, so now it just sounds like a dork.
It's like you just opened the door to your dark fortress and everyone's just sitting there staring, just like, welcome.
Yeah, except it sounded more dork than dark. So
Ah, man. Yeah. So, yeah, this week's been a bit crazy. Like, I've been studying extra and I'm just like, I just want to chill out, and it's been making me think a lot. So, we just had a big meeting at work with the business director, and it was all like, yes, this is how the business is going. And so once the meeting was done, after about 25 minutes, I was like, can I chat to you? And for the next 15 minutes, I proceeded to list off a massive list of questions I'd had written, and that I wrote during the time he was talking. He was like, I wasn't expecting someone to ask me this many questions. I was just like, well, I've been thinking because the UK did a dumb and is leaving the European Union, we have a lot of questions, and I've got a lot of things because the pound's now weak. So I'm just like, oh, what does that mean in terms of our export business? Because it's a good thing for the export business because it's cheaper for the people overseas to buy stuff from us now, which is good for them. But it's bad for us because we need to buy raw materials to make things from other places that are more expensive. So, it's weird. So that's kind of like one of the bases of these questions that I was asking.
Welcome to the constant struggle that Canada has with the US right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was something that I was very keen to talk to the boss about because he's a very knowledgeable man, and I really appreciate him taking the time to speak to someone who's on I'm going to say much lower tier, but I'm maybe 2 steps down removed because that's just the way things have gone for me, which is pretty good. But we've also got a huge audit coming up as well, and I'm like, please let me look at it all, and they're like, no one ever wants to look at audits, and I'm just like, I do, because that's the kind of things the way things are. Anyway, let's talk about things that we're actually here to talk about, like the episode of Red versus Blue that you assisted with.
Yeah, that went in a direction I didn't expect, to say the least.
Yeah. So how did that happen? You did the throwdown. What was it? The epic rap battle of Rooster Teeth originally.
That was way
for Team Red versus Team Blue.
Well, it was originally Church versus Sarge, but it's just Church versus Sarge. It evolved to include a couple more members of each of the Red versus Blue teams in in Jeremy's original piece back before he was hired. And when it came time to work on it as for the stretch goal thing for Extra Life, Jeremy said basically, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to pop out the verse for Tucker and Simmons and pop in a section of Locus and Felix rapping together. And I said, that's a great idea. Do you want new? Then I said, do you want new music for that? And he said, oh, of course. So I got busy at that, and I slightly tweaked the mix from the original just to beef it up a little bit, and I didn't re-record any of the original stuff because I was very happy with everything that was there, everything that I did. Because Keegan Nolan played the original guitar track on the original version, which kind of bums me out that he wasn't credited on the episode, but that's it. I mean, it's all we can do at this point.
I saw that at the end. Actually, at the end, let's just talk about the credits for a second, because it's as RvB Throwdown, and it's credited to Laramie Dooley.
I saw that afterwards. Oh, on the season finale. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Oh.
I was like, it's not that hard to it's kind of hard to. I actually looked at my keyboard and said, it's kind of hard to confuse the L and the J because there's a K between them. How did that happen?
Yeah.
And who missed it?
How did that happen?
For proofreading. Well, that's it.
Anyway.
But yeah, and then that was only supposed to be released under similar to how Podcast King Gus versus Mad King Ryan Throwdown was just supposed to be a random video thrown out, and and it wasn't coming out. And a couple days before the last time I talked to you, I had an email from Jeremy. He said, "Okay, here's an update. The video's done, but here's why it's not out yet. It's going to be an actual episode of Red versus Blue." When I stopped, palpitating, I said, "Well, that's very nice." And so I was like sitting on my hands, wanting to tell everybody I knew, couldn't do it.
Right. Man, I can imagine just sitting there going, like, I want to tell everyone about this awesome work that I've done that's going to be credited in somewhere that I follow massively.
And I didn't even know that it had been shown at RTX. I had no idea. I had no idea that the video had been shown at the RvB panel. And I found that out from David Levi, actually. He said, "I've heard this before. This was very cool. Was this you?" Well, yeah. So I was pleased with the reaction to it, which was great.
Awesome. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I think it was unexpected, and then I saw it. I was like, "This is Spencer's work with other." Did they get Matt and Bernie to re-record the lines?
Oh yeah, Matt. I thought they had all the voice actor did. It is Matt, Bernie, and Miles and Gray, and they all did a fantastic job. And absolutely fantastic. I think they were a little bit worried about how it was going to translate in rap form, but I don't think I did any tweaking of rhythm or anything like that at all. There's a little bit of noise here and there that I had to sort of clean up, like lip smacking and stuff like that. But voice actors, right? I mean, they did. In my opinion, they did a fantastic job.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. Actually, I've really enjoyed the whole of the season.
I have too.
There's been some episodes that I've thought... I think it's been a bit up and down because it's an anthology series, but overall I've thought it was very, very enjoyable. And yeah, there's been some absolutely fantastic episodes in it. And I like the fact that there were so many different styles of things going on, like the stop motion one, the live action one. Then there was the episode with the immersion in the middle of it. And then there was the end episode, which I still can't tell whether it was computer. I'm pretty sure it was computer animated on top of reality.
I think so.
Rather than having like people running around in the suits.
That's what it seems like to me, which is probably why it took so long to do. But that
was a really long episode as well.
I think my favorite of this Red versus Blue so far, this past season, I think it was the Merc tangent, the Merc arc.
Trilogy.
That was really, really well done. I'm also a Chris Sabat fan, so what are you gonna do, right?
Fair enough. Yeah, I was a really big fan of the stop motion one, just because. I didn't pick up on it like midway through the episode when the mum says, "Malcolm, stop playing with the toys," and then at the end, she says his full name, and she's like, "Oh my god!" That reveal was just. Yeah, I should have picked up on it earlier. When you go back and watch it, it's like, oh man, they were feeding it to us the whole way through. Oh, but yeah, it's been a really great season. I've enjoyed it.
It's been random, but I've enjoyed the randomness of it.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to Ruby's time.
Yes, well. That's this weekend, isn't it?
The first episode will be out. Yes, it will be. Yeah, so the first episode will be out when this is out. So I'm very excited because it's been a while since we've seen Ruby. Although Ruby Chibi's also been great.
That's been
I've been thoroughly
delightfully entertaining, I gotta say.
I really enjoyed the last episode. There's been some of the episodes through it where I'm just like, it wasn't very long, or the sketches like to me didn't appeal. But the last episode with the live reaction as a sitcom episode was, I thought, fantastic.
No, the animation department has been absolutely knocking it out of the park. I've thoroughly enjoyed everything that I've seen this year so far. So.
Yeah, I think there was like one or two episodes of Camp that kind of fell a bit flat, but aside from that, like the whole thing was just in general great.
I thoroughly enjoyed Camp.
Yeah,
I probably enjoyed it a little more than I should have. It was really fun.
Yeah,
it was really fun.
There's a lot of things to it that was great. Yeah. Cool. anything else to close up that topic before we move on to
the reaction to some of the RvB Throwdown stuff has been hilarious. Yeah. Like, oh, they just robbed this from a fan video. Those as ignorant of history are doomed to repeat it, I guess. But it was, yeah. I made the grievous error of starting to read some of the comments on it, and I was like, like I'd had to say a quarter of them, that I was reading anyway, were like, this was just this has already been done. This is they just took this from a fan site. Dude, the fan is Jeremy.
Yeah,
the fan is Jeremy. The other fan is me. The other fan is Keegan. Come on now. Jeez, but it was. But I mean, other people were sort of filling in the gaps in the history, which I mean, I didn't have to. I didn't comment or anything like that. It's just like, really?
Let other keyboard warriors deal with it.
It was just funny. It was like, but literally, when I was reading through it, that was like every third or fourth comment. I was like, guys, who do you think Achievements for Idiots was? But that's it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Crazy. So I wrote in my journal, this must have been 2 days ago, probably, that I don't know what's good or bad, but I know what I like and dislike. I was specifically writing that in regards to music, because at the time I was very much listening to a band called Gorguts,
which is a fantastic name.
Yeah, their album Coloured Sands was one of my favourites of last year, and it might be one of the heaviest albums I've ever listened to in terms of its technical. It's just heavy and dark in atmosphere, and there's just dissonance all over the place, which makes it very unappealing to the masses, I'll say. But for some reason, I like it. But to many, many people, I'm sure it's bad. But I don't know, looking at it as I don't know how to describe it, because it's an incredible album. I enjoy it a lot, but I can understand why people would dislike it. But if people would say it's bad, I would disagree with them. But I'd kind of understand that it's because they dislike it. And so I've got into a weird position where I'm just like, I don't know how to categorize this music that I adore, but is not
right. Okay, let's look at it another way. Cars. You like some cars, you don't like other cars. Some cars are actually good, some cars are actually bad. Like a Chev Corvette, great car. I want nothing to do with it. Simple. It's not my cup of tea. I don't want to sit in a vehicle where my ass feels like it's grinding on the pavement. And I can appreciate the engineering and all the craftsmanship that goes into something like a Chev Corvette or some sort of amazing sports car like that, but it's not to my tastes. Meanwhile, someone who's going to look at my vehicle and say, I don't like that. That's a horrible vehicle. I drive a four-door Jeep Wrangler. Suits mine and my wife's needs perfectly, which is getting through Canadian winter. that was the main reason we bought that. And for various reasons, actually, namely that we rode off our old car in a bit of snowy weather. Actually, it was snow-covered black ice roads in the middle of nowhere. You couldn't even get cell phone service where we wiped out. Fortunately, someone who was passing by and stopped, they had a satellite phone and we managed to get a bit of help. But, someone looks at my vehicle and says, well, that's just a Jeep Wrangler. That's a pile of crap. I'm never going to drive that. I was like, all right, good enough. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not good, My wife listens to a lot of country and dance music. I don't like it. But it's, some of it's okay. I can appreciate the technicality and the work that goes into it. And it might be good for what it is. I'm still not going to like it.
Yeah, true. I mean, I find when I'm listening to pop music, I'm like, some of this is good, some of this is bad. but it's just like, as a general, I don't tend to. I don't know. Maybe it's the obscurity of the stuff that I'm listening to that I'm just like, this is why I like it. But then I shouldn't be liking something out of pure obscurity rather than on its own merit. However, I believe it has its own merit because it's technically well put together.
Well, there you go. Well, if there's an element of it that you like, and then and that has obvious merit to it, something about it obviously is good, or it wouldn't have been released or anything like that. Then again, I look at
Well, I put an album out, so.
Well, I mean, I look at every Justin Bieber album, and go, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Let's not get me started on Bieber.
let's not go there.
But I mean, I've listened to a chunk of the new Lady Gaga album for power pop. That's freaking brilliant. It's so well done. It is so well done.
Yeah.
Then again, all of her albums are well done. Beyonce's newest album, well done. Oh, matter of fact, the last handful of Beyonce albums, really well done. Same with Lady Gaga. Really well done. Not my cup of tea. I'm not the target audience. I'm, a sort of approaching 40 white dude, who listens to a lot of, well, much like yourself, heavier, more aggressive music. Yeah, I'm not the target audience, but for what it is, it's actually quite good. Matter of fact, there's a band from here. They're making, they've just released an album, and they're making quite a name for themselves nationally now here in Canada called Repartee. And
cool.
That album, in my opinion, rivals the Lady Gagas and the Beyoncés and stuff like that. If you get a chance to check it out, go do it. They're on.
Totally.
Well, they're everywhere now, basically. But, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'll totally be checking that out. Anyway. I've been finding. Do I want to? There's two things in my head right now. Do I go with one or the other? We'll go with this one. I don't feel like the music I listen to is particularly for me, because I am a mid to late 20s. White bloke, British bloke, and I certainly don't feel the way a lot of the music that I listen to tries to portray the world. I certainly don't feel in tune with a lot of the vocal stuff. However, I'm always fascinated by the complexity, the work that's gone into it, and I don't know. There's always some form of complexity to the music that I listen to that I'm just like, this is great.
See, for you, it's
I don't seem to relate.
For you, it's as much about the composition of it as opposed to just the message kind of a thing. You're someone who appreciates more than just the face value of it, and that's what Gorguts, right? That's their
Gorguts. Yay!
God damn, that's a good name. That's something that appeals to you. It's not just the face value stuff. It's the complexity of it. It's the nuts and bolts behind it all. That's something that appeals to you because you have an interest in it, and you know how much goes into something like that because you've done it yourself, right?
Yeah, or at least tried to emulate something close.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah. So I have a good time listening to it. I was listening to it while I was studying as well.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, this is nice and calming, relaxing.
Jeebus. Good Lord.
I was just like, yeah. Well, it really helps me block out all other distractions because it's so... I don't know. It's one of those things that you can just I can just put on in the background and it won't bother me. I'm sure it would offend so many people if I were to just be like, this is what I'm listening to today, and just walked with a boombox around I'm sure the faces of disgust would be incredible.
Fortunately, we live in a time where nobody walks around with a boombox blaring anymore. I haven't seen them anyway.
I'm gonna do it to spite you now.
If you can go find an old boom box.
Then I need to put it onto tape.
That's right.
I haven't thought this plan through at all.
And now you're recorded as saying you're gonna do it. So now, buddy, you got.
It's gotta happen.
I'll give you as much time as you need. But you need to post that on YouTube, I'm telling you.
Yeah, obviously.
You can even do it. What's that movie with John Cusack in it where he holds it up over his head? I can't even remember. 16 Candles?
I don't even know. Maybe? I don't know.
Like
I don't know that film at all. I've seen it referenced in a few comic strips, but I've never done it myself. No, never seen the film myself. There we go. That's what I was going for.
While we're on the topic of music, can we talk about something that's
ahead.
really, really cool? I've noticed this year. This has got to be a banner year for heavier music, like well-known acts putting out albums. Because
I'm trying to rack my brains as to which albums have come out this year.
Well, there's a handful that come to mind for me. Garbage put out their new album earlier this year. That is fantastic. Yeah. I couldn't have been happier to see a band put out an album after so long, and I think the world of Shirley Manson and obviously Butch Vig and the guys, because I mean they're all amazing producers and engineers and whatnot. So I've been fanboying over that crowd now since 1994. So
yeah, I remember seeing Garbage in like 2005. They were playing. I was just like, I have to see Shirley Manson.
Oh man, I'd love to go see them live. I'd absolutely adore to go see them live. But coming out very, very shortly, I believe Metallica has a brand new album coming out, and everything I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard a track off of it, and it's like harks back to really early Metallica.
Right back to Kill 'Em All days, buddy. Oh man. There's actually 2 tracks that are on YouTube right now. There's Hardwired to Self-Destruct, which is the title of the track, title track of the album. Words, I can do those.
Yep, there we go.
I can do those too. And the second one is Moth to a Flame, and that's not quite as balls to the wall as Hardwired, but it's still really, really good.
Hardwired must be the one that I've heard.
Huh?
It just must be that
Moth
one.
to a Flame?
It must be Hardwired.
Hardwired.
No,
Hardwired has an ungodly number of views on YouTube right now. And it's everywhere. They've been on all manner of talk shows and radio shows performing it. And good on them. It looks good. They look very, very comfortable in their own skin right now, which is great, because that was one of the things that bothered me about Saint Anger. And to a lesser degree, Death Magnetic. That was actually, I didn't mind that album, Saint Anger. I minded a great deal, because that was just, oh, good God. And another band that's coming out with a new album imminently, I think, Korn is putting out a new album. Ooh. And they've got 3 or 4 singles on YouTube from it already. And they are complete... Well, no, I can't say complete throwbacks to their original sound, but it's much closer to the earlier days, like the Freak on a Leash days. The album before that, I can't remember it now because it was
the Untouchables.
Yeah,
is it Untouchables?
No.
No.
Well,
Untouchables.
I can't remember. Yeah, back when they were really huge in the mid to late 90s, but with updated production values and stuff like that. It sounds amazing. Like they're very cohesive again now. That now they have both guitar players back. It's it's a shame they don't have their original drummer, but I mean he's got hand issues, so he's retired from drumming as far as I know. I could be totally wrong, and I'm sure someone in the comments will let me know. But the 3 singles that I've heard off of that album are absolutely jaw-dropping as well. So this has been a good year for heavy music fans. And I mean, there's more albums coming out like that too, or have come out. And I mean, Chili Peppers released an album earlier this year. I haven't heard a whole. I've heard about maybe a half of the album, and it's good. It's not John Frusciante years type stuff. It's slightly different, but it's still really good stuff.
Yeah. As I've been talking with Adam as well, like he said, we've both like praised about Devin Townsend and his releases. His new album I thoroughly enjoyed. Can't wait to go and see him again. Just be like, oh, it's so good, so good. And yeah, I've been trying to keep up with albums for this year. There's definitely one that I know I'm forgetting that I've just been like, oh, this came out and this is awesome. The new Steel Panther album's come out, but I haven't heard it yet because Steel Panther are amazing. They're just so ridiculous and over the top.
With a name like Steel Panther, how can you not be?
So yeah, but yeah, I think I've watched a bunch of documentaries as well recently. This is the other topic I really wanted to get into, is that I've been watching documentaries about music and about albums that have been put out. And they seem to be the thing at the moment that I'm really searching for when I'm like, I'm out of things to watch. What am I going to watch? I'm looking for that, or I'll look for stand-up comedy on Netflix because, of course. But I watched the Periphery 3 Select Difficulty. I think that's the name of the album. The documentary associated with that one, that album, and I was just like, this is fascinating because they all work on the tracks and they don't strictly go to studios. They're all their own engineers and like, producers. So they all work together to try and get the album done, and they recorded it at homes and they went to a studio to do the drums because of course you go to a studio. Yeah. But yeah, I found that out, like, then there's the Devin Townsend Transcendence like documentary as well. It's in like 7 parts and that was awesome as well. And it just made me go, oh, these guys put so much work into their music, and you get to see backstage behind the scenes of like how they put the album together and how the band's working as a group. And I think the funniest documentary I've watched recently was the one for Paramore's Brand New Eyes, where after the album was done and once they'd toured for a bit, they were just like, the Farrow brothers were just like, we're leaving, we're fed up. But before, like, while they're recording the album, they're just like, everything's fine. And it didn't seem like it. I was like, oh, this is the best documentary. Because I really wanted to see, because I thought it'd be the document of the band falling apart, but at the end of it, they were like, we're all doing fine together.
Nope.
And that just wasn't the case.
Yeah, you know that thing you said? Yeah, no.
No, that is not the case. So yeah, but I'm on the hunt right now to try and find more documentaries. Like, I wanted to see if there was a documentary for Killswitch Engage's Incarnate. That's the album that came out this year that I'm forgetting. It's so good. Yeah, I forgot about Killswitch Engage's Incarnate. That's a solid album that's come out this year. But I don't think there is a documentary for that. I think there's a documentary for their previous album, Disarm the Descent, but that's because there was something to... Oh, Jesse Leach was back singing with the band, so they were just like, there was there was an angle to it, so that made sense. So it's certainly one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through... I might see if there's one for Dream Theater for The Astonishing, because that came out this year and I was severely underwhelmed.
Right, I forgot about that one. That was kind of instantly forgettable, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't have a great time with it because... I don't know, it seemed like they tried to do too much, and 2 hours and 15 minutes on the same themes the whole way through kind of gets a bit weary. It gets a bit wearing, and it didn't sit well with me because it seemed like they were being way too self-referential, and they told a story over 2.25 hours that could have been told in one album. And yeah, they decided to split it over a double, and I wasn't massively impressed with it. But that's beside the point. They could have done way more things, and they should have taken a 5-year break, like Portnoy suggested, and then come back with that album, and it'd have been fine. But yeah. Anyway, and then Richie Kotzen's put out an album called Cannibals, and he's quickly become one of my favorite like guitarist singers to listen to. Do you know who he is?
I don't think so. I don't think the name rings a bell.
Okay, so I'm going to say that he plays a Telecaster, and he dropped playing with a pick a while ago, a few years ago. And so he like finger picks, but he plays music. He played with Portnoy and, what's the name of the bass guy? Billy Sheehan, who's in a bunch of things. He's played with Steve Vai and everyone. And yeah, him, so Sheehan, Portnoy, and Rich Kotzen have put out an album under the name The Winery Dogs, and they've put out a second album called Hot Streak, and both of those albums are great. And then from there, I was just like, Richie Kotzen's pretty amazing. Sounds like Chris Cornell, but like plays guitar. And oh my god, like so thoroughly enjoyable. I was just like, I've been listening to his album Cannibals, and I'm just like, this is just some fantastic music.
Nice.
But yeah, he's a wizard on guitar, and it's just It's just very delightful to listen to.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check out Mark Knopfler's new album too, and I just there's not enough hours in the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding.
Yeah, and you don't even have like married with kids or anything. Jeez.
I know. I've got a song to write as well for something that's coming up that I'm really looking forward to getting started.
Oh, is that with the what is it called again?
I don't know. Oh, it's not with Game of Bands. No, this is another thing. No, this time it's for something else, and another project which is fun. It's staying secret for now. Oh yeah, the song that I did for Game of Bands, the one for the previous round that was supposed to be less than a minute long. We got best track in
congratulations.
that one. So we're super happy about that. Like the group were just like, oh my god, we got best track, and we were all surprised because while we were happy with it, there were a bunch of groups that submitted, but yeah, to get the award for it was just like, yeah, we were tied with 3 other groups, but that doesn't really matter because you can vote on as many things as you want. So people can vote multiple times for like their favorite track. So
cool.
It's like kind of a courtesy that you'd be like, oh yeah, your track was good as well, so we're going to give you recognition for that.
Nice.
So it was cool that we got recognition for just the work that we put in for it, and I'm super happy with how it turned out as well. I managed to like put some work into the vocals that I'd never put in before. I didn't do the singing, obviously. I got someone else was doing it. So they sent over the vocal tracks, and I just put them all together, added some chorus and some delay, stuff that I've never done before to try and make it sound interesting and fun. And then on like one of the sections, we hit the very last bit. There's 3 lines. There's the same line repeated 3 times. So I just stripped it down from. We had 2 vocal tracks going the whole way through. I duplicated one of those tracks and like pitched up it a bit. Oh no, I pitched it down a bit. So then we had 3, then it went to 2 on the second repeat, and then only 1 on the last repeat. And like it sounded really isolating at the end, and I was just like, yeah, I'm really happy with like how that went. And
you're crossing into the dark side. You know that, right? You're crossing into my territory now.
I know. I'm very excited.
Welcome to the forest.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had a good time doing all that stuff, and it's made me think like, oh man, I want to do more of that stuff. But then again, I need to find people to work with. So I can like have vocals and stuff to do that. I mean, I could do stuff like on my own, but yeah, no, I could totally work with you and be like, hey, let's do stuff. And yeah, totally. So I need to write more music though, just in general. I just need to be like pick up and play.
I actually
studying seems to be dominating my life.
Yeah, I actually finished a piece of music that we're going to be using to start and end my office's my research center's live streams with. Like when we start live streaming our lectures next week. Actually, Tuesday coming on the 25th. Nice. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a departure for me. Producing a live stream. Well, we got all the tech, and I think I'm all set to go. I've been working quite furiously for the past 2 weeks getting geared up for it. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome. Right, let's wrap it up here. Where can we find you across the internet?
I am on the Twitter at SpencerInNL. I'm also on the Achievement Hunter site as Grenew. And I'm on YouTube as Grenew as well, but mostly that's videos of my kid.
That's to watch things. Oh, okay.
mostly to watch things. But I have uploaded a few videos of funny things that my kid have been doing, mostly as a way for his grandparents to see how he's growing up and stuff like that when they're not around, because they live all his grandparents live in far off flung places. So
fair enough. Cool.
But that's it. That's where you can find me.
Awesome. I can be found across the internet at Topham or Destroy Topham or Etherfart, depending on where you're looking. If you just search Etherfart, it will come up on Google. I'll be top of the list.
Nice.
Yeah. This is the Easily Excitable podcast. Have an exciting week. You're all my favourites. Thank you, Spencer, for being my guest, and goodbye. Cheers.